So I thought I was going to start this video off talking about how there's reports of people stealing backpacks along the Appalachian Trail, but after doing a little bit more research, I feel like it might be a bear that's stealing people's backpacks. I can't remember if someone came into my store and told me this story or if it was an email I got, but someone brought to my attention this Facebook post right here where someone was saying that their son's backpack was stolen near Blood Mountain in Georgia along the Appalachian Trail, and this was day 3 of his hike. A couple quick facts about this situation. It happened on June 2nd in Georgia near Blood Mountain, and the guy who this happened to was cowboy camping. So it's not like his backpack was zipped up inside a tent. It wasn't hanging up in a shelter. My guess, it was just sitting next to him in the wide open. Now, this post does have hundreds of comments, so there's a lot of different opinions. People are saying that if the backpack was stolen by a person, could have been a homeless person pretending to through hike along the trail. But when I came across this comment, I really believe this one, and this is more the direction I'm leaning. So this comment came from the brother of Just Bill, who is someone who has worked in Neel's Gap, very near to where this happened at Mountain Crossing, and has worked there for the past 10 years. And he's very knowledgeable. He knows the area very well. And I met him on my through hike. He's the one who helped me change my shoes and led me to Saucony's. And I've actually been hiking in Saucony's ever since. So I remember Jess Bill very well, and I would definitely trust him when it came to a topic like this. So they do say that they look out and make sure that there's no homeless people hanging around their shop out back. Basically, these brothers both agree that it is a bear. This has been a problem for years. They've been warning hikers when they give them rides or when they come through the gap, and the bears just travel the area daily looking for scraps. And this happens often, but people don't often hear about it because it's not often posted online. But they are pretty confident that these bears know how to snatch a backpack. And other comments saying that bears will carry the backpacks into the woods a little bit away from the hikers and then go through it. The only thinking that I have is if this guy was cowboy camping, how do you not hear a bear come right next to you and grab your backpack and walk off? I don't know. Some people are very heavy sleepers. If you're out on the AT, you're probably exhausted from the day and you're in a deep sleep. But that's kind of crazy that this situation is happening. And according to these guys on Facebook, it happens often. So definitely let me know in the comments what you think about this. Are you thinking it's a bear? Are you thinking it's a person stealing backpacks? On my experience on the AT, I've never really been worried about my backpack or my gear being stolen in a shelter while I'm camping on the AT, mostly because I just don't think people want to carry the stuff out of there. Like, who's hiking into a trail and willingly wanting to carry out someone's old smelly hiking gear? I would always try to make a point to never camp close to any main trailheads, main road crossings, especially camping by them by myself. I always felt so much more comfortable camping deep in the woods because I just feel like people who are through hiking or backpacking or people who are in the AT community aren't going to go that far into the woods to commit a crime. But that's just what I tell myself. When I'm in town, I always try to keep my gear as close to me as possible. If I'm grocery shopping, I would try to just keep my backpack on or put it in the shopping cart. Or if I did leave it outside of a building, I left it where a lot of other people were also leaving their backpacks. I felt a little more comfortable with that, or hide it. I know when I backpacked with Kyle Hates Hiking, he always made it a point to hide his backpack behind the building so any Joe Schmo walking in the store or out of the store wouldn't come across it. A lot of people also recommended throwing an AirTag in your backpack. I've never used AirTags. I don't have an Apple phone, so I don't know if those work that well, but a lot of people are recommending that. And I just love also reading through the comments of this Facebook post how willing people were to help this guy. A lot of people were offering their old gear. They were helping him, trying to just get back on his feet, get back on the AT and continue his journey. So that was a really good thing about seeing this post. It's just everyone coming together. Now, another news story on the Appalachian Trail that I'm sure a lot of you had already heard of, and it is extremely sad, but the father and daughter who were hiking Mount Katahdin last week were found dead, which is just awful. So they planned to hike to the summit of Mount Katahdin to Baxter Peak last Sunday, and they started hiking at 10 a.m. At the end of the day, overnight, they were not heard from, and their car was still in the day use area, so people began to worry. They started searching for them on Monday. On Tuesday, the dad was found dead near the summit. And the next day, the daughter was found dead a little bit below, kind of in a wooded area between two trails. But this is just awful news. Really sad. Huge shout out to everyone involved in that search team. There were 25 Maine game wardens, 7 canine teams, 15 volunteers, 25 state park rangers, and multiple helicopters all involved in this. The trails up Mount Katahdin just opened for the season, but it's still pretty early, so the weather is predictable. The weather is actually predictable year-round. This cold, wind, ice, snow can happen at any time, so if you're hiking Mount Katahdin, just be as safe as possible. Check the forecast daily. They have weather reports down at the base, at the ranger station. I forget what it's called, but yeah, hiking Mount Katahdin is no joke. So just please be safe out there. Also, another weather update, Mount Washington is still very cold and snowy. I follow Stella on her journey to do a calendar year Triple Crown, and I was actually talking to her the day she made this decision, but she just posted it on YouTube, so now everyone knows. But she got off the Appalachian Trail and moved over to the PCT because of the snow. And I had also heard a lot of people who follow Pegleg, who is doing a calendar year border to border. So she started in Key West, Florida, and she was hiking to Canada, and she also got off the AT and switched over to the PCT. I was looking through her videos on YouTube, and one of the thumbnails said she fell in, I don't know, waist steep snow or something. So I know it's mid-June now. The conditions are probably getting better at this point, but just be aware of that. I'm still a little shaken up, honestly, from just even mentioning that story on Katahdin. But on a brighter note, let's talk about this water bottle that I just got in. I'm sure a lot of you know Miranda from Miranda Goes Outside on YouTube. She just created this water bottle, which I think is going to be like the future of water bottles. I really hope this replaces everyone's obsession with smart water bottles out on trail. I know people reuse their smart water bottles time and time again, but I just feel like this is such a much better option, and it's got better features than just a normal smart water bottle. The best is that it opens right here. It has a wide opening, which makes it really good for both cleaning and making mixed drinks. So right now I am putting in my lemonade salt element packet, which I know Miranda loves, so hopefully she appreciates that. Element is the sponsor of this video and the best electrolyte drink mix on the market. So I added the Element with the wide mouth, and then I can open the small opening on top and drink it easily. Element came out with the lemonade salt as a limited time offer for the summer. It is such an amazing drink. It's refreshing, it's so good, and it keeps me hydrated because it's packed full of really good electrolytes, and it's so clean. It doesn't have any ingredients that you don't need. So no sugar, no gluten, no artificial coloring, nothing like that. It's just a really good, really hydrating drink. Element also has a lot of other really good flavors, not just lemonade. They have raspberry salt, citrus salt, watermelon salt, grapefruit salt. Check out their website for all their really good flavors. Element is the perfect electrolyte drink mix for anyone. So for hikers, for me, I'm about to spend a lot of days out on my boat this summer, and that can just be really dehydrating. So I'm going to be drinking a lot of Element to just replace the electrolytes I lose when I sweat out in the sun. If you want to check it out, drinkelement.com/Nahamsha is my link. So when you use that link, any purchase you make on the website, you will get a free sample pack of 8 really fun, really good flavors. So again, that's drinklmnt.com/Nahamsha. So in other Appalachian Trail, New Hampshire news, there's actually quite a big Appalachian Trail reroute happening right now up north in the Presidentials near, the Presidentials, the Wildcats, Pinkham Notch area. So the suspension bridge that I absolutely love, I remember hiking over that on my through hikes. The suspension bridge near Madison Gulf is actually out. And I don't know if that body of water is crossable, especially safely. So from the Osgood tent site, you can take a trail down to Route 16 and then take another trail, or the 19-mile Brook Trail, up to the Carter Notch Hut. So this reroute is very clearly marked and far out. The only thing is this reroute kind of cuts off the famous steepest mile of the Appalachian Trail. So you don't take that really steep trail up to the Wildcats. You skip the Wildcats completely. You just go straight to the Carter Notch Hut and then over the Carters and then down to the Gorham area. But this is an official reroute, so it's not like you're skipping official miles of the AT. It still counts, but that's a little crazy that the whole Wildcats is just not part of the AT at the moment. I'm actually thinking of taking a ride up there to just kind of see this situation myself and maybe hike a little bit of the trail, maybe do some trail magic if there's hikers nearby, but that might be in a video, me going out to hike the suspension bridge to just kind of assess that, or to hike to the Carter Notch Hut and spend a day on the AT. That's always really fun for me. Speaking of trail magic and through hikers, I am still checking the heat map. I think it's wherethehikers.com to just kind of show where the majority of Appalachian Trail through hikers are at the moment. It is showing that most through hikers are in Virginia and Pennsylvania, that area, but it is showing hikers starting to appear more in Massachusetts and Connecticut. So they're getting closer. I've been texting with some people because a long time ago I asked any through hikers, if they're coming through the area, please let me know. I would love to offer help. I would love to interview them on my channel if possible. So I have been in communication with some people, and I have talked to people who are in Massachusetts, so they're getting close. So I'm really excited to start doing some more trail magic soon. I am going to practice with my camper and trailering that by myself so I can actually go to trailheads and cook meals and just do some really cool things. So hopefully that's a few videos coming soon this summer. Some other video ideas other than doing some trail magic. I am still thinking about getting my family out on our first backpacking trip together. So I am putting together some gear. I have a trail in mind that I would love for us to do as a family. And yeah, we're just doing that. One quick personal update before I end this video is about my knee. So I had my doctor's appointment, I had my MRI, I had my follow-up appointment, and the conclusion is that it is a significantly torn meniscus, torn a couple different ways, directions. It's pretty deep. I can get a meniscus repair surgery. It would be a little more invasive than a typical meniscus surgery would be. Sometimes they could do it arthroscopically, but I would also need an incision down the inside of my knee. It would put me on crutches for 6 weeks. I wouldn't be able to hike for 6 months. And there's a 70% chance that it works. So that's the very quick explanation of my knee. I am still making a decision. I'll go back to the doctor in a couple weeks and talk more, maybe make a decision. But I am leaning towards getting the surgery and just risking it because I can't do the things that I really want to do in life. I can't run. I can't really do any sort of hard hikes. living day to day, it's painful. So I know a lot of people watching this have also dealt with meniscus pain and stuff like that. So I've had a lot of good feedback and comments from people when I've talked about this. But yeah, hopefully everything turns out well. So I am going to end this video here. Thanks for watching. I really like doing these things where I just talk about a bunch of different topics relevant to New Hampshire, Appalachian Trail hiking, all that stuff. So I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.